What happens when a hit-making TV producer at the peak of his powers decides to create a mysterious vigilante hero who drives a Corvette? This wasn't another wisecracking ensemble cast or a shootout of the week formula. This was a moody, stylish, enigmatic series built around a lone man with no past, no price tag, and no clear identity. So what went wrong? How did this sleek and stylish 1980s vigilante show vanish from the airwaves just as it was hitting its stride? Let's find out. This is the history of Stingray. By the mid-1980s, Stephen J. Cannell wasn't just another television producer. The A-Team, The Rockford Files, Riptide, his shows were everywhere, and NBC was buying whatever he was selling. But with Stingray, Cannell decided to go off script. He wanted something stranger, something leaner. The core concept was inspired by a failed 1978 pilot Cannell had produced, titled Dr. Scorpion. That project never went to series. Years later, that DNA became the blueprint for Stingray. The pitch? The Equalizer, but on wheels. That premise gave the show its pulse, an unnamed man who called himself Ray, a mysterious figure who drove a black Corvette Stingray and helped people in trouble. He never asked for money. Instead, he offered his services in exchange for a future favor, which could be called in at any time. This network of debts quietly formed the backbone of the show's structure. Each episode saw Ray arrive in a new location and accept a new case. There was no team, no backup, and almost no exposition. His background remained deliberately vague, with only passing references to government agencies or combat experience. Although Ray occasionally encounters someone from his past who knows who he is, it's never revealed. He volunteers his true identity to only one person throughout the series. Nick Mancuso wasn't a household name in America when Stingray hit the airwaves. Cannell had already worked with Mancuso on the failed Dr. Scorpion pilot. A Canadian actor with experience in both theater and film, he wasn't cast for muscle or bravado. Instead, Cannell saw a brooding intensity, someone who could disappear into roles, shift personalities, without ever overplaying the moment. Mancuso's version of Ray came across as smooth, self-contained, and effortlessly capable, dressed in black, sometimes with sunglasses even at night, walking the line between charisma and threat. James Handy appeared multiple times as Chief Nelson Riskin, an honest police chief who quietly supported Ray's efforts. His presence gave Ray a link to law enforcement and allowed the show to hint that even the system quietly recognized Ray's value. Robert Vaughn appeared in a memorable episode as a shadowy government figure from Ray's past, a fun nod to Vaughn's own spy legacy from the man from U.N.C.L.E. Other guest stars included Mark Paul Gosselaar, years before Saved by the Bell, and NBA legend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as himself in one of the show's pop culture flavored cameos. Stingray officially premiered on March 11th, 1986, but the show's roots with viewers went back further. The 2-hour pilot, which aired a few months earlier, had already made a strong impression. NBC didn't immediately order a full season, but by early 1986, the show was ordered to series. Its first season consisted of 8 episodes, and those episodes were enough to lock in a dedicated viewership. The series picked up a Primetime Emmy Award in 1986 for Outstanding Graphic and Title Design, recognizing its stylish opening credit sequence. Mike Post's driving synth rock score gave the series a gritty, stylish identity. Several episodes featured music-driven montage sequences, often backed by original compositions from Mike Post, used to convey emotion or narrative without dialogue. Cannell himself wrote the pilot and a few key episodes, but he also assembled a team of talent that included writers like Herb Wright, Frank Lupo, and Randall Wallace. However, the show's unconventional storytelling style didn't resonate with everyone. Some critics complained that if viewers weren't paying close attention, the plots could become confusing. As one retrospective noted, some found Stingray to be more style than substance, while others appreciated that it didn't spoon-feed its audience. Cannell and his team reportedly embraced this divide, preferring to challenge viewers rather than explain everything outright. In terms of ratings, Stingray got off to a decent start. The subsequent first season episodes did respectably in the ratings, not a breakout smash, but solid enough, especially for a mid-season show. Behind the camera, Stingray enjoyed a fairly high production standard under Cannell's banner. The first season's 8 episodes were filmed in Southern California, which provided the requisite sun-soaked LA backdrop for Ray's adventures. Notably, the show often filmed at night and in urban locales to give a neo-noir feel. At Nick Mancuso's suggestion, Cannell planned to shoot Season 2 in Toronto to take advantage of favorable exchange rates and Canadian tax incentives. This plan hit an unexpected snag. In 1986, Toronto's production scene was so busy with American TV crews that no local film crews were available for Stingray. Adapting on the fly, Cannell relocated Stingray's second season filming to Calgary for the first half of the season and Vancouver for the remainder. The shift to Canada had a few effects. Some exterior scenes subtly changed, and a number of Canadian actors appeared in guest roles due to the local casting. Mancuso, for his part, was reportedly happy to be filming in his home country for a while. Mancuso was known to be deeply invested in his character. He would discuss script nuances with writers and even contributed ideas to help shape Ray's mysterious persona. There was some discussion partway through the second season of possibly tweaking the show's format. One idea floated was to introduce a semi-regular sidekick for Ray to talk to. But Cannell stuck to the original formula of Ray working alone, feeling that was central to the show's mystique. There were 2 1965 Corvettes on set that were repainted black, outfitted with tinted windows, and slightly modified for stunt work and tracking shots. In one memorable sequence, Ray's Corvette is chased by a helicopter gunship, culminating in the car's rear window being shot out, a stunt that required careful coordination between a chopper, pyrotechnics, and a protected stunt driver in the Stingray. The result was an exciting set piece that fans still recall. Despite its creative strengths and a devoted fan base, Stingray was ultimately canceled in 1987 after 2 seasons. The most immediate factor was ratings. The show performed respectably but was never a major hit. NBC changed the show's time slot during its second season, moving it from Tuesdays to Friday nights, a decision that likely impacted rating stability. Stingray aired its final episode on May 8, 1987. For years, Stingray remained elusive on home media. The show never had a strong syndicated life, and reruns were limited. On April 1st, 2008, Visual Entertainment released Stingray on DVD in Canada. A few years later, Mill Creek Entertainment issued a Region 1 DVD release in the United States, packaging the full series in a 5-disc set. The set also included the original 2-hour pilot movie. While no bonus features were produced, the release marked the first time the entire series was available officially and in one place. For longtime fans, it was a long overdue opportunity to revisit one of television's most enigmatic heroes, this time without relying on fading tapes. Stingray left behind a modest but lasting legacy. Its mysterious lead, favor-based premise, and moody style influenced later shows. The 1998 TV series Vengeance Unlimited also featured a mysterious individual played by Michael Madsen, who helps people who have been wronged by the system or by criminals. His payment is either $1 million, which none of his clients can afford, or they pay him in the form of favors to be performed in helping future clients. So what happened to Stingray? It never got the backing it needed. NBC didn't promote it heavily, shuffled its schedule once, and then pulled the plug to make room for something flashier. The show had a clear identity, a loyal audience, and room to grow, but the network moved on and Stingray quietly disappeared. Next, we look at another loner who worked outside the system. But unlike Stingray, the Equalizer didn't fade away. It found its moment and held on to it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome content.